Rhea can paint a room in 4 hours. Destiny can paint the same room in 6 hours. How long would it take for both Rhea and Destiny to paint the room if they are working together? So we need to set this up as fractions, and we're always going to set it up as like the number of jobs over the time it takes. So if we talk about Rhea first, okay, so for Rhea, it takes 4 hours to paint a room. So she can paint one room in 4 hours. So she's going to be represented as 1/4. Then we have Destiny, and Destiny can paint a room in 6 hours, the same room. So we'll say that Destiny is 1/6. So one room in 6 hours. Together, we don't know how long it'll take them. So we'll say that together, they can paint one room in X hours. So we're trying to find what X is. So together, so Rhea and Destiny together will equal 1/X. So we're going to take Rhea, which is 1/4. We're going to add Destiny, which is 1/6. And we're going to equal that to the total of them together, which is 1/X. So now this is set up like a regular rational addition problem that we're trying to solve. So we need a common denominator between all three of these. So we want to use the least common denominator, which would be 12x. So the 4 is missing a 3 and an x. Same thing on the top, 3 and x. The 6 is missing a 2 and an x. And the x is missing a 12. Now you could have done 24 and multiplied the 4 by a 6x and the 6 by a 4x, but then you would just need to reduce your answer at the end. So it doesn't matter, but usually the least common denominator would be fastest since we don't have to reduce more than once. So now what we have is 3x over 12x plus 2x over 12x equals 12/12x. So what we're going to do here is combine our like terms. So this is going to be 5x over 12x equals 12/12x. Because we have the same denominator, we can multiply to get rid of it. So if I multiply everything by 12x, these are all going to cancel. So I end up with 5x equals 12, and then I divide by 5. So x is going to be 12/5, which is 2.4. And because this is a word problem, we want to make sure that we label it. So it's going to be 2.4 hours. So when they work together, it will take them 2.4 hours, when individually it took Rhea 4 by herself and Destiny 6 by herself. One inlet pipe can fill an empty pool in 8 hours, and a drain can empty the pool in 12 hours. So since we're talking about something emptying, we're going to use subtraction here instead of addition. We want to know how long it's going to take the pipe to fill the pool if the drain is left open. So again, let's set each one up as a fraction. So the pipe can fill one pool in 8 hours. The drain, instead of filling, the drain is emptying the pool, but it can empty one pool in 12 hours. And together, with the pipe and the drain happening at the same time, one pool can get filled in X hours. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take the amount that the pipe would be, which is 1/8, so one pool can get filled in 8 hours, but now we have to subtract the drain, so it empties a pool in 12 hours. And that's going to be equal to 1/x. So here again, we want to get a common denominator. So the least common denominator here would be 24x. So the 8 would need a 3x on the bottom and on the top. The 12 would need a 2x. on the bottom and on the top, and the x would need a 24 on the bottom and on the top. So this is going to give us 3x over 24x plus 2x, minus 2x over 24x equals 24 over 24x. So we can combine the 3x minus the 2x, and we get x over 24x equals 24 over 24x. So now we can get rid of the common denominator by multiplying everything by 24x. That'll cancel out the bottoms. So what we're left with is x equals 24. So again, this is a word problem, so we'll label it hours. So it will take 24 hours for this pipe to fill a pool as long as the drain remains open. If Carlos does a job in 12 hours, and with the help of Destiny they can do it together in 5 hours, how long will it take Destiny to do it alone? So this is similar to the other problems, but now we're trying to find Destiny individually instead of finding them together. So again, we're going to set everything up as a fraction. So Carlos can do one job in 12 hours. Destiny, we don't know what she is. So we know that she can do one job in X hours, but we're not sure how long it takes her. Together, we know it takes them 5 hours. So together, they can do one job in 5 hours. So we're going to set it up as Carlos plus Destiny equals together. So we're going to have Carlos, which is 1 over 12, plus Destiny, which is 1 over x. And that's going to be equal to 1 over 5. Okay, so again, we want a common denominator. So we have 60x would be our common denominator. So we need to multiply the 12 by a 5x and the top by a 5x. The x needs a 60, so does the top. And the 5 needs a 12x, and also on the top. So now we have 5x over 60x plus 60 over 60x equals 12x over 60x. So we want to combine the numerators. So we get 5x plus 60 over 60x equals 12x over 60x. So we can get rid of that common denominator of 60x by multiplying. And now we end up with 5x plus 60 equals 12x. And now we're just going to solve this. So we can subtract the 5x over. So we end up with 60x equals 60 equals 7x. And then we're going to divide by 7. So x is going to equal 60 over 7, which is going to be 8.57 hours. Okay, so Carlos takes 12 hours. Destiny is going to take 8.57 hours alone. Together, they'll take 5 hours. Now you can stuff envelopes twice as fast as your friend. Together, you can stuff 6,750 envelopes in 4.5 hours. How long would it take each of you working alone to complete the job? So the job is 6,750 envelopes. So for you, you're going to be able to stuff 6,750 envelopes in X hours, because we don't know how long it takes you. But we know that you're twice as fast as your friend, so your friend is going to take twice as long as you. So if you take 5 hours, it's going to take your friend 10 hours. So your friend is going to be able to stuff 6,750 envelopes in 2x, and double your time. Together, we know that you can stuff 6,750 envelopes in 4.5 hours. So again, you plus your friend equals together. So 6,750 over x plus 6,750 over 2x equals 6,750 over 4.5. So we're going to need a common denominator, which would be 9x here. So we're going to multiply a 9 on the top and bottom for the first fraction. We need a 4.5 on the top and bottom of the second fraction. And the last fraction needs a 2x top and bottom. So if we multiply 9 times 6,750, we get 60750 over 9x. Then 6,750 times 4.5 will give us 3375 over 9x equals, and 6,750 times 2 is going to be 13,500 x over 9x. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel out the bottoms from here instead of combining it first, just to save some space on here. So now we have 6,750 plus 3,375 equals 13,500x. So if we add the left-hand side together, we get 91,125 equals 13,500x, and then we're going to divide the 13,500 to get x by itself. So x is going to equal 6.75. So we have to find the time it takes you and the time it takes your friend. So it's going to take you 6.75 hours, and it's going to take your friend double that. So 6.75 times 2 is going to give us 13.5 hours.